Dragon's Bread Quick Bites. Really strange stories in a quick bite.
I saw what I saw!
I saw what I saw, but no one believes me.
I'm a pretty simple creature. When I was younger and I was actively seeking things for whatever reason, I would be going out into the evening, so to speak, saying, what trouble can I get into in one way or another? To me, what's strange is this kind of this beautiful, you can call it coincidence, but like these moments that when you had no idea you would be experiencing something. That to me is the best part of life. It is when that magic happens, I feel like anything's possible. To write, you have to wake up repeatedly and sit and grind something out. And you have to believe in false optimism, almost quixotic journey that what you're doing has meaning, and it's tedious, and it's frustrating, and it's glorious and exhilarating. But as a human being, I can't stand being boxed in. Any institution, whether it was school or marriage or expectation of how I'm supposed to behave, I try and poke holes into the parameters in some way. I love knowing that those holes are there. When they're not there, I feel very claustrophobic. When I have not felt grounded and when I have not felt connected to something bigger than myself, I tend to look a little bit more for the weirdness.
Do you have just the story? One story?
Well, first of all, living and working in Hollywood for 25 years is nothing but strange. There's so much strange out there. What you see out there is unbridled ego and enabling. When you hear about somebody, they'll say, if you're having a meeting with person X, don't be surprised if he pulls out a Bowie knife and takes a shit on the table, because that's what he does. And then he does.
Can we get a little help in here?
All right, here's a great strange story, right? This is a great strange story. When my dad died, I was 29, and he died at 58 of cancer. I adored my dad, and I had a great relationship with him, and I was very close to the point where I didn't even know if I could breathe without him on the planet. That kind of codependency. After he had gone, and we'd gone through the mourning, and we'd gone through everything, I had a moment, in that moment, where it almost felt like my eyes were open, but they weren't. I somehow went someplace and saw it. I went to this greener than green forest. I was not quite asleep and I was not quite awake. I was dreaming, but I knew I was kind of dreaming. And there he was, and he was just hugging me, saying everything's going to be okay.
Everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay.
So I've carried that the rest of my life as my own, something's out there, because that was more real than this cup I'm holding right now. It was more real. And yet, anytime I would try and mention it, but it was real. So that might be actually my strangest moment, and actually the thing that gives me great hope for my next life.
Thanks to Alec Sokolow for being on the show. If you want a full list of the films he's written, you can check them out at imdb.com. That's Indigo Motel Delta Bravo.com. If you liked what you heard, you can get the full interview on the new show Fresh Eggs, which is available exclusively to Patreon subscribers. Visit patreon.com/TuiArts and subscribe at any level, and you can get the show. Next up on Dragon's Bread is Information Golem, featuring Joseph Matheny, who created perhaps the world's first alternative reality game called Ong's Hat. In the meantime, I'm wishing you peace, folks. I put a link in the show notes to support those in Ukraine, but, perhaps consider a donation to the many others in the world facing the insanity of war and control through violence. It's crazy out there. Hug your loved ones. What we have is so very fragile. Thanks for listening. Catch you on the next episode.